Everyone says gossip is ugly. So why did humans become so good at it? If gossip were only a moral failure, it should have been easier to leave behind. But human life keeps producing it. Imagine a small group of people living close together. One person leans in and says, quietly, "Be careful with him. He smiles when he needs something and disappears when it costs him anything." That moment may sound like drama, but in human history, moments like that may also have been social survival. Because in a world full of alliances, promises, betrayals, and fragile trust, information about other people matters. Humans live in unusually social worlds. We depend on family, friends, allies, co-workers, neighbors, and strangers. But there is a problem. We cannot watch everyone ourselves. We do not see every lie, every act of loyalty, every betrayal, or every act of generosity. So we rely on social information. We ask who is trustworthy, who cheats, who keeps promises, who turns dangerous when no one is looking. This is where gossip enters the story. At its core, gossip is not just talking for the sake of talking. It is often the exchange of information about absent other people. And that information can matter a lot. It can help us decide whom to trust, whom to avoid, whom to forgive, and whom to keep at a distance. One everyday life study found that people spent a meaningful amount of time gossiping, and much of it was not vicious at all. Most of it was neutral rather than openly malicious. That does not mean gossip is harmless. It means the stereotype is incomplete. Gossip is not only social poison. Often, it is social mapping. Think about how much of your life depends on judgments like these. Which coworker can handle pressure? Which friend keeps secrets? Which relative starts trouble in every room? Which neighbor helps when something goes wrong? Most of us do not learn these things from formal evidence. We learn them through stories, through hints, through warnings, through fragments of social memory passed from one person to another. That is what makes gossip powerful. It turns private behavior into shared reputation, and reputation changes how groups behave. One influential theory, associated with anthropologist Robin Dunbar, suggests that gossip may have helped humans do something very difficult: maintain social bonds in groups too large for old primate-style grooming alone. Among many primates, grooming helps build trust and social closeness, but human groups became larger, denser, and more complicated. Touch could comfort one individual at a time. Speech could reach several at once. So one influential idea is that talking about social life became a kind of verbal grooming, not proven history, but a powerful way to think about the problem. Because grooming is intimate, but it is slow. You can groom one individual, maybe two, if the setting allows it, but you cannot keep a large social network stitched together that way. Language changes the scale of the problem. Now several people can receive the same social signal at once. Now a story about loyalty can spread. Now a warning about a cheater can spread. Now a group's invisible map of trust can spread. And once social information starts moving through language, something else becomes possible: reputation. A person can be known even when they are absent. A good action can travel. A betrayal can travel too. That can help groups. If people hear that someone repeatedly exploits others, they can be more careful. If they hear that someone cooperates and keeps promises, trust can spread more easily. In that sense, gossip can reinforce norms and sometimes support cooperation. But only sometimes. That part matters, because it is tempting to make this story too neat, to say gossip is secretly good, to say the thing we judge is actually wise and noble underneath. But the research does not support such a clean moral reversal. Gossip can help cooperation when the information is useful, when people are motivated to protect the group, and when reputations are not badly distorted. In other words, gossip works best when it behaves like a warning system, not when it behaves like a weapon. And human beings are fully capable of using it as a weapon. because the same system has a dark side. Gossip can be distorted. It can be selfish. It can be used to punish, exclude, humiliate, or quietly destroy someone. A group that shares useful warnings can also share unfair rumors. The tool is the same. Only the motive, accuracy, and consequences change. That is why gossip is so morally confusing. It can protect a community, and it can poison one. You can see both sides in ordinary life. A friend tells you, quietly, that someone has a pattern of lying in relationships. That may save you pain. A colleague warns that a manager takes credit for other people's work. That may protect a team. But another person spreads a humiliating story because they are jealous. Someone repeats a rumor because it is entertaining. A small exaggeration becomes a social stain that never really washes off. Now, gossip is not protecting trust. It is breaking it. This is why social information is never neutral just because it is common. Human groups need it, but they also suffer from it. We want to know the truth about other people. We also want status, belonging, advantage, and emotional release. Those motives mix together, and once they do, the line between concern and cruelty becomes thin. Maybe that is one reason gossip feels so uncomfortable. It reminds us that social life is not clean. We depend on one another, but we also monitor one another. We seek closeness, but we also compare. We want honest warnings, but we fear becoming the person talked about when we leave the room. That fear matters. To be human is not only to speak, it is to live under reputation. Long before courts, databases, employee reviews, or social media profiles, people already lived inside systems of memory and retelling. Who helped in a crisis, who ran when things turned costly, who shared food, who cheated, who stayed loyal. That kind of information could shape your place in the group, your chances of support, even your safety. And in some ways, it still does. Modern life looks different, but the logic survives. Workplaces run on informal reputations. Friend groups do too. Families do too. Online life has amplified the scale, but not changed the basic mechanism. Human beings are still passing around judgments about absent others, still trying to decide what those judgments mean, and still struggling with the damage they can do. Maybe that is why gossip never disappears. It is woven into the logic of social life itself. Humans survive not only by hunting, farming, building, or fighting. We also survive by reading people, by comparing stories, by tracking trust, by trying to understand who belongs, who threatens the group, and who might betray us when no one is watching. Gossip is one of the tools humans built for that world. Sometimes it carries care, sometimes it carries cruelty, and maybe that is the real lesson. To understand gossip is to understand that human beings live inside invisible networks of reputation, memory, suspicion, loyalty, and fear. We are not just creatures who speak. We are creatures who must decide, again and again, whom to trust.